Hi everyone, my name is Hope, and my goal is to provide honest reviews of products so that you can determine whether or not this product needs to be part of your life. And I evaluate products on 3 attributes. The first is functionality. So what kind of features does this product provide? The second is appearance. How does this product look? And the third is value, which I use a metric of my own called dollars per quality point, which I explain later on in the video. Quick introduction about Birdies. So my understanding of the company is that they first started out as an e-commerce brand and have now been selling their shoes in stores like Nordstrom. It's a company started by 2 moms, and their claim to fame is that their shoes have a 7-layer cushion technology that lets their flats and loafers and other shoes feel like a slipper, but otherwise look very put together, stylish and clean like any other flat that you would buy. So right now the company has 3 categories of products: flats, slides, and sandals. And today I'll be exclusively reviewing one of their most stylish and popular flats called the Starling. So the first attribute we're going to talk about is functionality. And with that, in shoes, what I really look for is comfort and durability. And starting out with comfort, the Birdies' claim to fame is that they are the most comfortable flat that you'll ever put on. And I almost want to say that I agree with this, which is kind of a shock to me because I wasn't expecting that. My experience with flats is that flats are one of the most uncomfortable types of shoes to wear after heels. And that is probably not how many of you feel, but that is how I feel, because the way my foot is shaped, which I'm not going to show you because feet are gross, is that it's kind of like this. Like, my toes are extremely wide in the front relatively, and then it kind of narrows out by the time it gets to my ankle, and I'm a size 8.5. And every time I wear flats, I find that the front part of the shoe really squeezes on my toes. But if I get a size larger or half size larger, the heel no longer fits because my heel is kind of more narrow, so then the flat ends up slipping off all the time. So I'm usually choosing between having blisters on my toes or blisters on the back of my heel. And with this shoe, I can actually say that I don't have that problem. So in terms of comfort, I really do think Birdies live up to that expectation. So with regards to durability, the shoe I'm showing you in this video is brand new, but I have owned a pair of Birdies before in the same style, although a different color. And what I can say about durability is that Birdies probably just meets my expectations in terms of how long the shoe lasts. I have owned my first pair for approximately a year, and what I can tell you so far is that the shoe itself does mold pretty well to your feet, but I do find that they scuff very easily in the front area, and also that this area, if you don't put on your shoes completely properly and that you don't, stick your foot all the way in before shoving down your heel, this area can get a little bit damaged and deformed. But that's not really that surprising when it comes to flats. I have that common issue with my other pairs of flats from different brands, where the front part gets a little bit scuffed up and then this part loses a little bit of its form, and over time even the sides of the shoe, like right here, get a little bit dented in or pushed out depending on how your foot is shaped. However, Birdies are all leather, so I was expecting them to be a little bit stiffer and kind of mold to my foot and then last a really, really long time. But I think the Birdies that are about a year old for me, I don't think they're that wearable anymore. I would still wear them on casual outings, but I don't think I would wear them to work anymore. So that kind of gives you an idea of the durability of the Birdies shoe, So I also wanted to include a short clip of another shoe that I think is under the same tier as our Birdies. So remember, Birdies retail for about $90 to $120 depending on the model and color. But another shoe that I own that I think is fairly similar is by Vince Camuto, which I think is a also more well-known shoe brand. But this flat that I own I think retails for $99. So it's a little bit cheaper than Birdies, but not by much. And what I just wanted to show you is that the inside of this shoe, it's a little bit hard to tell, but what they've sewn in is just a very thin layer of, I'm not sure what it is, but it's probably like faux leather or some other material, but it's definitely synthetic. And compare that to the Birdie bottom. And remember, I said in the beginning of the video, what they're known for is this 7-layer cushion technology. I think the 7 layers are within this single layer, but just from looking here, you can see a quilted pattern. And when I do press down, you can see that there is some squishiness that really do make them a little bit more comfortable. And I think that is kind of the main comfort difference between these two shoes that are otherwise fairly similar. But like I mentioned again, when I wear the Vince Camuto shoes, the front part sometimes really bothers my side pinky toe or the big toe of mine. Sometimes my heel gets blisters, and every time I wear Birdies, I don't have that problem. The next category is appearance. And overall, Birdies for me are a little bit underwhelming in this category. And the reason why I say that is I have other shoes that have a similar boxy structure in the front. So I was kind of expecting Birdies to be a little bit more innovative or a little more stylish somehow. And they don't really do that. I think it's a very similar cut to other flats I own, which to some people, maybe that is a good thing. But one thing I did want to say is I'm not a huge fan of this area because it almost makes me feel like I have an extra toe on the outside of my foot. I know that's probably just me, but to me it looks a little bit strange when I look at my foot downwards like that. Overall, the shoe does do a good job of making your foot look a little bit more narrow, which I think women do look for in shoes, so that's a good thing. I really do like the detail on the back. I think it's really feminine and cute. And the last thing I wanted to point out is that the heel is a little bit shorter even for a flat. So if you're looking for a flat to give you just a little bit more height or, you know, make your legs look a little bit slender, these may not be it for you. Other than that, I really do like the sheen of the leather. You can just see under the sunlight that it has this really nice smooth texture. I don't really like pebbled leather or, you know, crisscross patterns on my shoes, so that is a plus for me. So the last attribute I'm going to talk about is value, which I will use a metric called dollars per quality point, or basically we are evaluating whether or not you're getting the most bang for your buck. And to do this, I will be referencing other brands of flats. On the lower price of the spectrum, I'm thinking of brands like Lifestride, Aerosoles, maybe anything that you find at clothing stores, or flats that you can get for $50 or less. And I do love that you can find a lot of these in nice styles, but overall I have major problems with blisters and aches, and many shoes that I have given up trying to break in fall under this category. So I will be giving them a quality point measure of 3. And that means we're spending about $17 per quality point for a $50 shoe. In the middle range, I would put things like Sam Edelman's flat or Hush Puppy's ballet flat. These range at about $70 or so. And to me, these flats normally provide more comfort with just some blisters and significantly overall higher quality feel. So I would maybe give them 7 quality points or so, which means we're paying about $10 per quality point. Then there are Birdies and Rothy's. You know, they range about from $100 to $120. And relative to those middle range flats I was talking about, I would say that they're fairly similar in quality and durability, but slightly better in comfort. So I would give them about 8 quality points, which puts them at $15 per quality point. And above Birdies, I'd put brands like Tory Burch at $200 or more, and I think at this point you're mostly paying for the brand more so than anything else. So overall, Birdies in terms of dollars per quality point are somewhere in the middle of really cheap flats and those middle range $70 to $80 flats. Of course, you'll be able to find shoes in any category that beat out all the others, but overall, I think Birdies are right at the average for bang
per book.
So that sums up my review. I hope you found it informative. I will link the exact product in the description box below if you're interested in purchasing. However, I didn't receive this and I don't get any benefit. This is just a completely honest review on my part. So if you're interested in more product reviews from me in the future, subscribe, and I will definitely look into things that you might be interested in buying.